Hello and welcome to the Owatonna Today Show. I'm Shelley Whitehead. Happy Wednesday. Hope it's a good day for you. We're going to be talking today with Tanya Nyquist and Jane. I totally did that wrong. It's Tanya Paley and Jane Nyquist. They got married. I don't know if you're aware of this. Congratulations to you. But no, they didn't. I'm just kidding. But we're going to talk to them today about Drug-Free Coalition and all sorts of great stuff. So make sure you stick with us. You know, you can find the excitement that happens here right on the Owatonna Today Show 6 days a week right here on Charter Channel 8. And also don't forget you can find us on Blip TV, YouTube, and Facebook. And as I've said before, and I will say again, if you like us on Facebook, you can win a pair of free tickets to the Steele County Blades home game. It's a great, fun winter activity. Even though it may not feel like winter, you can pretend by going inside and watching hockey. It's always a good time. All you got to do is like us on Facebook. If for some reason you don't have Facebook or you've liked us already, all you have to do is send us an email at owatonnatoday@charter.net. That is also the place we want to have you send us information of things you'd like to see right here on the Owatonna Today Show. If you have heard of something or know of something that should be on the show, please send us an email or feel free to give Leanne a call at 390-5751. Let us know some of the activities and exciting things that are going on in your life right here in the community so we can share it with everyone else. We're going to be right back right here on the Owatonna Today Show. Stick with us.
Hi, I'm Jody Voisin with the staff at Fairview Animal Medical Center, your other family doctor. Fairview Animal Medical Center is a proud supporter of the Owatonna Today Show.
The majority of fatal home fires happen at night when people are sleeping. Smoke alarms give you time to escape. We recommend that you have a smoke alarm in every sleeping room of the house and one on every floor in the common living areas. Smoke alarms should be tested monthly, and we should be replacing the batteries at least once a year. This is a safety tip from the Owatonna Fire Department.
Hi, we're Mark and Becky Stevens of the Owatonna Pizza Ranch.
And we support the Owatonna Today Show.
You're on the Owatonna Today Show. We're having exciting adventures with Velcro here on the set. It's so exciting. Hi, Tanya.
Good morning.
Hi, Jane. I'm just not going to say her last name and then I won't get it wrong. How's that? We are going to be talking about the Steele County, it's right here, Safe and Drug-Free Coalition. This is a coalition of a bunch of people working together to make sure that we have a safe area for kids to live in.
Right. Right. So we're not married, but we do have a great partnership.
Yay! You're married in another way.
That's right.
Yeah.
We are working together in the Safe and Drug-Free Coalition, and I always try. I think it's helpful just to explain again what the coalition is and how it works. So, of course, I am the project coordinator for the coalition, and
Do you want to start over?
Okay, I'm the project coordinator for the coalition, and then as part of the coalition we have many people that contribute different things to the coalition. And so Jane heads up our tobacco work, but we are always looking, and we can talk about this some more later, but she heads it up, but she doesn't want to do it alone, and she doesn't do it alone. We do a lot of things together, and we also have volunteers that work with us on the tobacco work.
What is the primary goal of the coalition? What is the ultimate aim?
That's a great question.
Yeah, it is.
The primary goal of the coalition is to support our youth and our families with information and to change the environment, actually, so that our community really supports safe and drug-free choices for our youth. And so part of that is education, explaining a little bit about the different substances that we work on are alcohol, tobacco, prescription drug abuse, and marijuana. Last time I was on, I talked about marijuana. And so some of that, like the marijuana work, I think is really about educating people about why marijuana may not be completely safe.
'Cause, in the culture, you hear so many different
Yep.
things about all of those different substances.
Right.
And so it's hard to figure out which messages are true and which ones are Hollywoodized and that
Sure.
kind of thing.
Yep.
Right.
So, and then as we'll be talking about today, our work goes beyond education, but really changing, sometimes changing the physical environment of our community. So, for example, our youth advisory board, in terms of smoking, is looking at, can we have tobacco-free parks? And so that's a lasting change if we can bring that to our community. That goes way beyond education. And so, and in alcohol, we kind of ramped up the retailer checks in cooperation with our police department. We've also put a curriculum in place. So we're really trying to move beyond just informational sessions to really supporting our community to make it safe and drug-free.
So just not preaching about it, but actually actively doing something.
Exactly. Yeah, preaching, we found out, doesn't really work.
No.
And it's a good place to start. I think the information needs to be said, but I think also the conversations and getting, like the youth advisory board, kids involved in making it a better place is great. I want to talk to you a little bit today, Jane, about you work with many different organizations.
Yeah, I do wear a lot of different hats. I work with public health, Steele County Public Health, as a health educator, but I also coordinate several different grants. And the one grant that Tanya and I have been able to collaborate on a lot is through our Four Corners Partnership, which is a partnership between 4 counties, public health departments, Rice, Goodhue, Dodge, and Steele. We have funding through an organization called Clearway, Minnesota. And we want to change the culture. We want to have smoke-free air. We want to try to deter kids from starting to use tobacco. And that's how we fit in. And some of the things we've been doing together, well, one of them recently is retailer visits. Tanya and I.
Explain that a little
Well,
bit.
Tanya and I have been making some little road trips where we go to the local tobacco retailers. Back in the spring and late winter last year, we and some other volunteers went into these retailers and counted tobacco ads. Outside, on the windows, hanging inside, and right behind the checkout at what's called the power wall.
And the power wall is the place where, like, when you the last minute buys, those impulse buys that you want. Is that what that is?
Well, the power wall includes that, but the power wall is a great big structure behind the checkout. I shouldn't say great big in all retailers,
Right.
but in a lot of them. And you look, and it's just a wall of tobacco products.
Okay.
And there are advertisements all over that. And the tobacco industry has a contract with retailers that the tobacco industry rep will come in and place the ads where they would like them to be. So basically they're kind of buying or renting a portion of the store. So we went in, counted them. We know that those ads do influence youth and the brand they might be loyal to in the future. So we went in, counted them, and now we're going back. We're sharing kind of where they were with the counts. We're asking them to sign a pledge that they will do one of several things. We have 5 asks in that pledge. One is to reduce the amount of tobacco advertisement outside a store. One is inside the store. One is to keep candy and toys away, at least 5 feet away from the tobacco advertising. And then also looking at cessation. We know that there's a good program in Minnesota called the Quit Plan Minnesota. It's a free service to anyone who lives or works in Minnesota. We want to put up brochures, some literature, so that if someone comes in and thinks, maybe this is the day I want to take some information on cessation, it'll be right there at the checkout counter. So they can either check whether they want to have it at the checkout counter or if they just want to have it for their employees back in a break room or someplace. So we visited, I think, at least 7. We've gotten several pledges already. I've gotten at least 3 pledges. I have to think back. And we're going to take a photo of the store if they so wanted, and we're going to do an ad, a free ad for them stating that, you know, they're supporting this tobacco-free
And so
lifestyle
that
for
gives
kids.
people who are looking to support that kind of thing to go to that specific place.
Well, and or thank them for
Yeah.
being a community member who really doesn't want tobacco to get in youth's hands.
Yeah.
And to promote cessation for their employees or for the community.
That sounds like a great and unique aspect to approach this.
It
kind
is
of
a
thing.
different one. It's kind of new to Minnesota. Not brand new, but not a lot of folks in the counties have done that.
Good. And what, you have some other programs that you're working with?
Well, I just wanted to share that Steele County recently adopted a foster care policy so that anyone who is a foster care parent will have to have a smoke-free home and vehicle.
Okay.
That doesn't mean they can't smoke, they just have to do it outside of their home or their vehicle when they have kids placed there. Another thing that my Four Corners Partnership, and Tanya's integrally involved in all of this stuff, but the Four Corners Partnership is looking to update the City of Owatonna tobacco ordinance. Update definitions. Back when the ordinance was first adopted in 2001, we didn't have e-cigarettes.
Okay.
Now we do, and we have other products. And so we want to make sure that the definitions are current and they meet state statutes.
E-cigarettes meaning electronic
Oh, yes, good point.
Yes.
A lot of folks think e-cigarettes are a really safer alternative to tobacco. Unfortunately, the jury's out on that. We don't have enough research to know whether it's a safe product or not.
Okay.
They're not regulated, so we don't know really much about
You're
it.
not sure what's going in them, what kind of chemicals are being used? that kind
I've
of
heard from formaldehyde is in them, and we don't know what else. And formaldehyde embalms things if you remember your chemistry or your science classes, and so it's kind of scary.
It is a little bit of a scary thing.
Yeah, so no, that's kind of what we've been doing, and we thank the Safe and Drug Free Coalition for realizing and recognizing that tobacco is a gateway drug to some of the other drugs that they really focus on too, and it always has been.
What's a main message when you're speaking to some of the youth of the area? What is a main message that you try and share with them and talk about? Because I know that's part of the problem, or not the problem, the solution actually, is having a conversation. Again, not just preaching to them, but having a conversation. What are some of those main talking points that you try to talk to kids about?
Well, kids are immortal. I think we all know that. And they don't realize the harmful effects, the addictive nature of tobacco, the effects of secondhand smoke. Most of them will realize over time it's a very expensive habit. One thing that I would like to share too is there's a product called little cigars that are a third the cost of cigarettes, and they're not taxed equally as a cigarette. So that's something our two coalitions will be going up to and meet with our legislators. Actually, we're meeting with a legislator today, and then on Friday another one. So we want to raise awareness that these little cigars are harmful, just like cigarettes. They're flavored, they're taxed differently, they're cheaper. Kids are price sensitive. They're going to go for the cheaper product, and we're concerned that this might be an entry product into the tobacco world. Any other things?
Well, and you know, in terms of the message to adults, Jane has hit on some of that. One of that would be flavored cigars are not for adults. I mean, how many adults want a peach-flavored cigar?
Right.
So who is that for? And then secondly, in terms of the retailers, when we've gone in, I've often said, you know, how many adults do you have that come up and don't know what brand they want to buy for cigarettes?
That's right.
So, you know, that's really, again, that's trying to catch new smokers, and we want to stop that.
Well, I thank you so much, ladies, for your time today. We appreciate it. We're going to actually continue talking with you, Tanya, a little bit later about some of the exciting things here. So make sure you stick with us right here on the Owatonna Today Show.
Hi, this is Dave Efforts with TPS Insurance, and we are proud supporters of the Owatonna Today Show.
Effective Monday, October 15th, the clinic main entrance will be closed for construction. Please use our temporary entrance, the dialysis stores, and/or the hospital main entrance. We appreciate your patience during our construction, but at the end, we'll have a pleasant entrance that is larger, warmer, and safe for our patients. Again, starting Monday, October 15th, the clinic main entrance will be closed for construction. Thank you.
I needed more than just another dead-end job. I wanted a career, so I expressed myself.
With the kids off to college, I decided it was time for me to go back to work and express myself.
Express got me in touch with some really great companies. Now, I'm on my way to a great career.
Express Employment Professionals is in contact with thousands of companies in need of quality employees. Come in now and get the job you deserve.
Express yourself today.
Hi, I'm Doug Johnson with the Owatonna Business Incubator. We're here to help small businesses start and to grow. We're a proud sponsor of the Owatonna Today Show.
Hi, my name's Dave Olson, and I'm with R&K Electric, where we provide power to the people. We're proud supporters of the Owatonna Today Show. I'm Mark Woodrich with Steele County Blades Junior Hockey. Come back to the orange and black. We'll see you at the rink. The Steele County Blades are very proud supporters of the Owatonna Today Show.
And we're back with the Owatonna Today Show. I have with me Tanya Paley and Jane Nyquist. Look, I did it right. Yay! We're going to continue this conversation because I think it's an important one, but we're going to actually make it a little bit more personal. We've been talking about some general ideas, but you actually, Tanya, have some statistics about what kids in Owatonna are thinking and doing.
Right. Well, Steele County.
Steele County.
Yep. And, you know, one of the things that Jane's Four Corners Partnership has been working on through Clearway is this message that it's tobacco still a problem. And I think sometimes we as adults, maybe we see fewer and fewer adults taking up smoking or even are trying to quit. You know, I know that's what I see with my friends. They're trying to quit. And that's really hard.
Yeah,
so, you know, so when we look at the youth, the question that, you know, one of the things we can provide as a coalition is some good data on, you know, what does it look like in Steele County? And so I thought, I don't have it memorized. I brought
It's hot off the presses. How can you have it memorized?
To share, but I thought I would just share. I know data can sometimes be boring, but I'm trying to make it as exciting as possible. Just some information about our own youth. So the first question is, we asked them in the last 30 days, had they smoked part or all of a cigarette?
Okay. So just first of all, inhale any kind of tobacco.
Well, this one is specifically cigarettes. Okay. Yep. And again, it would have to be that they did it in the last month. So not have you ever tried. That's kind of a different question. But this is capturing more active users. And so we started this question, we started asking our 6th graders that all the way up through 12th grade. And we actually split it between male and female students to see if there's any difference between boys and girls.
Again, I think that's important information.
Yeah, so what I would share is, you know, starting in 6th grade, we're really looking at, for boys, it's around 2% that said that they had smoked all or part of a cigarette. I actually am surprised that's pretty low for 6th grade. But 5% of girls said yes. So that's an interesting thing to maybe talk to your daughter about if you have a daughter in that age range. And, you know, sometimes there's some difference grade by grade. Some kids are not all the same, and we can't maybe generalize totally. But so that number goes up steadily across the grades. And by the time we get to 12th grade, we have 20% of our 12th grade boys saying yes, they had smoked a cigarette in the last 30 days. And about 16% of our girls.
Wow.
So tobacco, still a problem.
Still a problem.
And this is where I think when we think about how much we've told our young people how dangerous smoking is for their health and what a bad idea this is, I mean, we live in a society with that message, and yet they're still picking up that cigarette and trying it. And that maybe gets to Jane's immortal comment. You know, they figured that they'll just try it and maybe they'll be able to, you know, they'll put it down later. And of course, we know how hard that is.
Yes. That also makes me think of, when I think of the power wall with all the tobacco ads in, say, a convenience store, it gives kids the impression that everybody smokes. Look at that wall. It's full of tobacco products, when really not everyone smokes. In Minnesota, the smoking rate is just under 17% for adult smokers. So it really isn't everybody smokes.
Right, but it gives that impression.
It does give that impression.
Well, and the other thing is it's interesting that it's pretty close to the rate that we're seeing here, because I think what we do know from the data is that if you are smoking, you most likely picked it up during this age range between 6th and 12th grade when you're not legally able to smoke.
Exactly right.
So that's kind of interesting too. The next thing I would share, and this gets to Jane's point about the new tobacco ordinance, cigarettes have been, of course, the most common method for using tobacco, but smokeless tobacco or chewing tobacco, of course, chew has been around a long time, but all these new smokeless products are fairly new, and so we asked a specific question about that. And what we found with that is that girls really are not into that, but the boys are. And it goes from 6th graders saying, nope, I don't do that, you know, to 17 or 18% of our 12th grade boys that are chewing. And we don't know how many of those are also using cigarettes.
Right, dual use.
It may be.
Because that would even, if you use both, that even doubles your chances of the different diseases and things that go along with that.
Well, right, you're
You would
getting
think it's gonna
more.
increase
You're
it,
getting
yes.
more.
Yeah.
But my guess is that we have some kids on top of the 20% that are smoking cigarettes. We have some
Yes.
number in addition that are also using the smokeless tobacco. And then the last thing that, in terms of data, that I would say, because we talked about, they do think they know it's harmful, and they'll say that on the survey. Yep, so tobacco use is harmful. But when we ask them, how wrong do your friends feel it is for you to smoke or use tobacco? I think this question is actually smoke tobacco. So how wrong, like if you were to light up a cigarette in front of your friends, would you get negative peer pressure? Would they tell you to put it out? And what would you guess, Jane, that in terms of peer pressure, what would you guess?
I would like to think they would not approve of it.
Right, and I was surprised to see that, again, starting in 6th grade, here 10% of the boys said, my friends would be fine with that.
Wow.
Up to 52% of the 12th graders said my friends would be fine with that.
So half of my friends wouldn't care.
Half of my friends wouldn't care if I smoked. And so I think that, and with the young women, it's 40% by 12th grade. So it's not half, but pretty close.
Yeah.
So in other words, I think the work that we need to do beyond the environmental change, beyond maybe raising the price of cigarettes or reducing the advertising, we need to work with our youth. And I know we have great youth. Shock, for example, here in Owatonna works on coming to the kids and saying, hey, smoking's not cool. My youth advisory board has said, if we take tobacco out of the parks, it's another way that they think it's normal. If they see a bunch of high school kids in the park smoking, they're going to think, oh,
everybody's doing it.
Everybody's doing it.
Yeah.
So trying to change, it's tough to change teenage peer pressure the other direction, because it's not, this isn't what we would want as parents.
Right.
We want our kids' friends to say, hey, that's not cool, put that out.
Yeah.
Ick.
Yeah. I say that all the time. Ick.
Right, or I don't want to kiss a smoker, or whatever,
Yeah.
So that's the kind of messaging I think we need to be working with our youth on, and that's the challenge for this year for the coalition. We would love to have folks that feel strongly about this. If you don't want half of your kids' friends to be telling them it's not cool or telling them it's okay.
Yeah.
And again, that's 12th grade, and so some of our 12th graders are legally able to smoke.
Right.
But again, we know that doesn't, as we were talking to the retailers, it was interesting. One of them said, on their 18th birthday, when they come and they buy the cigarettes at the retail store, they're like, wow, congratulations, this is your first pack of cigarettes. No.
Like, no, that's not cool.
No.
And that gets back to why quitting might be important too, because what we have found in our survey and in talking to our youth is that a lot of them are stealing cigarettes from packs that are in the house. Because we know our retailers are doing a good job of not selling to our youth. So where are they getting it?
And friends, but I think a home is a very important environment. And I think, again, it goes back to that concept of conversation.
Right.
Not just don't, but let's
right.
talk about this and make better choices together.
And if you are a smoker, you might want to share with the youth in your life. I know a lot of smokers regret that they're smokers. And that's just an honest conversation you can have with somebody to say, I started this when I was 13 and I'm having a heck of a time quitting. I really wish for your sake that you don't take it up.
Be specific about why it's affecting you, the physical tolls it's taking. It is amazing that once you have a close personal contact with the impact that smoking can have. My dad has emphysema. My grandmother had emphysema. I just had a friend whose father passed because he smoked and he had an aneurysm in his abdomen. Just these things that once that's a personal thing, it changes the whole aspect. And having that conversation is very important.
Yep.
I appreciate your time. If anyone has questions, is there a way they can get a hold of the coalition or get more information?
Yep, we have some contact information. It looks like it's going up on the screen right now.
She's good.
Yeah. That telephone number is for the coalition cell phone, so I would pick up that number. But certainly happy to refer them to Jane if they call that number. And again, there's a website there. We also have a Facebook page.
Good.
So a lot lots of ways to reach us.
Thank you, ladies. It's been a fascinating time talking to you, and we hope to see you soon.
Thanks,
you.
Shelley.
And we'll be right back with the Owatonna Today Show.
Hi, Warren Abraham, Abraham Consulting Technologies, your one-stop technology shop. We support the Owatonna Today Show.
Owatonna Public Utilities, real people, real reliable, real progress. Making life a little easier day after day, taking pride in our community, listening to what you say, a voice you can talk to. We're growing with you in mind in everything we do. Owatonna Public Utilities.
Hello, I'm Sean McNulty. And I'm Deb Gillard with Brookdale Senior Living, Sterling House, and Clarebridge of Owatonna.
And we are a proud sponsor of the Owatonna Today Show.
In 2011, United Way funded programs provided services to over 10,000 Owatonna residents. For the second consecutive year, the vast majority needed help to meet their most basic needs: food, clothing, housing, and safety. United Way of Steele County is able to sustain a safety net of direct services, prepare our children for the future, and provide seniors with support to age in place due to the generosity of our community. Please make a donation to United Way again this year. Our neighbors are counting on us, and we are counting on you.
And we're back. I want to give you a few quick community announcements. It's Cocoa with Santa coming up this December 8th. If you would love to have some Cocoa with Santa, they're going to be doing that at the Art Center. Mrs. Claus is going to be playing this piano. It's going to be a great time this Saturday from 10 to 11:30 at the Art Center. And Mary Kay Feltz is going to be reading the Polar Express. It's going to be a great opportunity for you to spend some time with your family in a holiday way. Don't forget, of course, there's Home for the Holidays. At the holidays, we all think of home, and this year Jo Kaplan is going to talk about her joys of the holiday music. And it's a dazzling evening of Christmas carols, December 8th at 7. So go in the morning, go hang out with Santa, come back in the evening and hang out with Jo as she gives some beautiful Christmas music. And the holiday feline specials coming is right now with the Steele County Humane Society. To help our cats and kittens find new forever homes, they're offering a holiday special. Now through December 31st, all cats or kittens are 50% off. And there's nothing better than a beautiful furry little Christmas gift under the tree. And so what you need to do is call the Steele County Humane Society at 451-4512. That's 451-4512. You could also email adoptapetschs@yahoo.com. Of course, if you are going to adopt a pet for Christmas, make sure you know all the details about it, the kind of pet, what they like, what they need, that kind of thing, and make sure you are an educated pet owner. And are you an artist? Are you an artist practicing in visual art, theater, literature, music, or film? Then you should consider applying for a grant. The Multidisciplinary Artists at Southeast Minnesota Arts Council Community Outreach is looking for a free grant writing class to artists. That's going to be Saturday, December 15th from 1:30 to 2:30. So if you love being in the arts, but you could use a little extra cash to help that happen, then go ahead and attend this December 15th event. You can call the Art Center at 451-0533. And I want to remind you to please like us on Facebook, because when you do that, you'll be entered in for a pair of tickets for the Steele County Blades. If you haven't seen them yet, make sure you get out and have a good time watching a live hockey game right here in Steele County. I want to thank you for joining us. We'll be back on Friday with more exciting shows right here on the Owatonna Today Show.